Maybe we should stay in bed, pretend that everything's the same. Just a little play pretend. Hey, we can cry when it's over. We can cry when it's over.
Good morning, everybody. We are heading to the survey and the sea trial of the 1993 Catalina. It's 42 feet. We saw it yesterday. We really truly do think it would be a great fit. We just obviously have to make sure that all of the systems and everything work. There's no major problems, and just ask a lot of the questions that we put down in our notes app as of yesterday and kind of leading up to it. So we have a surveyor today. He's supposed to be pretty awesome. His name is Andy, and he actually won first place in the Transpac. So he went from California to Hawaii, and he won by, I think it was 7 or 8 hours, which is pretty crazy because usually people don't win by that much, but he won by quite a bit. And he is actually going to be our surveyor, and then he can also give us some ocean crossing tips and truly make sure that this boat is ready for a Transpac. So we are going there today. We're going to grab some breakfast first at the hotel, get all fueled up, bundle up, just because it's going to be cold today sailing. It's going to be freezing, and hopefully not, but 60 degrees, we're not used to that. All right, I'll take you along with us, and hopefully we get some clarity today one way or the other. They're cool looking. And it's 60 feet, which is crazy. Yeah, a lot of teak, which is tough. It's just so sharp. Alright, so we just got to the boat, and Seth is tinkering around down below, waiting for the broker and the surveyor to arrive. I think the surveyor was stuck in some San Francisco traffic, so we're just waiting. But I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about the difference between production boats and blue water boats in terms of like how we're viewing it with what we want to do. So obviously the Catalina is a production boat, so fin keel, not a full keel, which is going to give a little bit less comfort out like with passages, where the blue water boat is just, it kind of sits in the water, it's heavier, it's got the full keel, which is better for passages. We know people like Atticus have like a full keel when they're sailing, and their boat is beautiful and it is pretty spacious. However, Windrose, our full keel blue water boat, needs a lot more money put into it to get it up and running, and then it's still on the small side. So we can't really afford a really turnkey ready, decent size blue water boat. So a production boat, one that's been maintained, has really good quality, and still is kind of more for coastal cruising, can do passages. We know some people who have done ocean crossings in Catalinas, and the surveyor will be able to kind of talk us through some of that stuff. So we'll be able to do passages. We feel comfortable with a production boat for now. We know that there are some sacrifices, but for a budget of about $100,000, a little bit more than $100,000, a production boat is something that's turnkey, ready, in good quality. We sacrifice a little bit of that comfort, which we know that we had to sacrifice. So I know we had a blue water boat, and we're changing if this one works out. So we'll see. So, okay, let's get to surveying. Seth is already... You want to look at this? Yep, I'm looking at it. Let's go.
So when this thing was new, this big nut would have been about an inch back that way, and there's packing material in there. Sure. So as it wears, you crack off this small nut and you bring this big nut, and it tightens up that direction. In this case, it's almost completely tightened up. You see there's like 2 or 3 threads left right here. Yep. When it was new, there would have been a whole inch of, and as that packing material wears, you just keep tightening the nut up, maybe half a turn a year. Probably, it's probably original. It's probably never been done, and then, for 20 years they've turned it a half a turn, and now it's worked its way all the way to the end of its travel. So you open it up again and you put in new packing material, or you could swap it out and put a shaft seal if you wanted to. But this is designed so anytime the engine's running, it's going to drip maybe once every 3 minutes. So you're going to always have a little bit of water in your bilge. And some people are like, well, see how it's moist right here. If you look, you can see the light shining off the moisture. Yep. And if you put in a shaft seal, then you don't have any more water.
What do you think is better?
Well, this is what they've always had. The nice thing about this is you can always tighten it up and fix it. But
True.
the shaft seal, if it were to fail, you're hooped, you know, until you get to a yard that has a new shaft seal. So here's where the salt water enters the exhaust. So this is called your exhaust elbow from here to here, and yours looks pretty fresh. Everything looks good as far as in here, as far as, and then that's you'll see the skeg that holds the propeller shaft coming up through, and then back further aft, if you look way in the back, you'll see the rudder post coming up through the boat, and then on top of the rudder post you've got the quadrant. And just looking back at the rudder post, you can see there's no salt water running down it. It's got that same kind of gland that the propeller shaft has, you know, where you squish the material together. And I don't think this boat's been used that much because, you know, you don't see a bunch of grease and salt water and stuff running down. And then, so the rudder post comes up, and then you've got an autopilot, and then you've got the steering cables. You can see them up on top, right up here. They look good. Surface, but it is. So the water presses in, and then it bonds with the fiberglass. It's called osmotic blistering. And once it's bonded with the fiberglass on the inside, at a molecular level.
Yeah.
So between here, there's a line where the stub, usually you can find that line, you know, because the keel flexes, you know, but this one is not showing any. It's right there.
Yeah, okay.
Where the stripe would be, but
Okay.
that means
So,
the
I
keel
can't
bolts
see
are
it.
tight, and it's not flexing.
Sure.
And that kind of stuff. It's not been sitting in the mud, in the hull anywhere here. It's going straight through the middle of the hole, right there, and then it goes into that stuffing box gland. And then here, if I lift up,
Yeah, you don't want to have it too much loose, but you
don't
want
want it
a little bit of play.
I can make it wiggle, but it's not making a gap
Yeah.
there. That's your cutlass bearing.
Yeah.
Those are the two guys holding the cutlass bearing in, are those two little Allens. It's not slipping out the back.
Yeah.
So that's looking good. These guys are doing their job, so I'd say you take a picture of them now.
Ready, midship?
Ready? Say,
That's crazy.
so right, you're going slow right now. That's why she heels over.
Yeah.
Because you're coming slow out of that tack. Now once she gets her legs, turn a little more right. She'll start to get her legs under and start to flatten out.
Yeah.
You're in the weakest link tag.
That's so great.
Hey everyone, so we finished the survey and the sea trial, and right now we're just in our little electric mini coupe having it recharge at just some random little industrial park. So as it's charging, we thought we would just share with you how the survey went, what findings there was, how the sea trial went, just observations that we had, and ultimately if we want to get the boat. So we can start off with the survey. The survey went really, really well. I was expecting to find like one issue that was like more than like a $500 project, but there was a couple little things he found Would you?
I wouldn't say $500. The sail thing and the hot
true.
water heater are definitely going to be more than $500.
Yeah, true.
The lines are probably going to be more than $500. The whole out's definitely going to be more than $500.
This is depressing.
Brother
Get
John.
out of here. All right.
It's the truth. You can't say $500. That's
Yeah,
saying
that's true. I know. Like you said, that's not even a boat book. All right. So there wasn't anything crazy during the survey that was like a major issue that would have caused us to need to renegotiate the price because we already negotiated it to begin with. So we felt pretty comfortable with keeping the price the same. There was nothing insanely major. We do know that...
no Catalina smile.
No Catalina smile. Catalina smiles are kind of the since the keel is bolted onto the bottom. You want to make sure the keel bolts are good, and then you want to make sure that the keel isn't separating from the hull of the boat. And that's pretty popular in Catalinas, but this one showed no signs of anything, and the keel bolts looked really good. They're like high quality stainless keel bolts. Look solid, no Catalina smile, which was my biggest concern because we did a full walkthrough and checked ourselves, but then you never really know underneath the water until you pull it out. So it looked really, really good. We still would want to haul it out at some, I don't know what I'm talking about. Prop speed on the max prop. Shaft packing, and 2 coats of the anti-fouling paint. It's a used boat, which is, if we're not buying a $700,000 brand new sailboat, it's gonna have some little like marks on it, which is okay. So I think the 2 main things that we would need to do other than the haul out is the sail, a small tweak to the sail, and then the lines.
The front edge of the sail has the sail tape which protects it. I don't know if it's tape. It's not tape.
He said tape though,
I
but it's
know.
not tape. It's like the binding on the mainsail basically.
That needs to be redone, so we'll have to take it to a sail maker to have them refurbish it.
Yeah, all in all, it went really well. I guess the surveyor, he's actually went round trip from Hawaii back to California 28 times, which is insane.
I don't think that's right.
No, it is. I wrote it down as soon as he said it because I wanted to put it in the video. 28 round trips from California to Hawaii. Knows the sail route a ton and was super helpful. He also didn't have many complaints on the boat. He really just had a couple of those suggestions, but nothing major. He used to be a rigger, so the mast step, the rigging, he was able to inspect that, and that was all really good, which was great. He also said the engine looked brand new. He was surprised that it's still the original Yanmar, but only has 1,400 hours on it. So those are 3 main things: rigging, mast, engine, and they're all pretty good. So we feel pretty confident, and we are moving forward with the boat. We're really excited to just get cruising. And then what's funny is kind of gotta go soon. It's in 55 minutes. We are going to Oakland, California, and the surveyor invited us on his boat or someone else's boat, and they're all going sailing tonight. So we're gonna go sailing in Oakland, California. I was gonna go see the Painted Ladies today, those houses in California, and maybe the wharf. Those were on my list. But we're nixing them because we got the opportunity to sail with some people here, and maybe they've done the crossing to Hawaii, so maybe we can get some more tips and just kick it back with the locals. Yeah. Anyways,
Take it back with the locals.
Kick it back with the locals. So started driving to Oakland so that we can go sailing, and I realized that all we filmed was the problems of the boat. So obviously we looked at the boat from a pessimistic eye of okay, what could be wrong with the boat, what could need to be fixed, all those different things. But then I just filmed that and we talked about everything negative. So, but optimistically, it is a really great boat. Boat really handled really well. It was able to just turn really quickly because of the rudder. It was just really, really great. And because it wasn't full keel, in the full rudder that we have on our boat, it just you can just kind of do all the different things, backing up, all the stuff. So that was great. Really easy to use. Oh yeah, way faster. It was so fast. We had 18 knots of wind and we were pushing 7.5 knots. All in all, really great boat. Really responsive, just beautiful, really well maintained. And I think livability, sailability, it'll be great. Just missing the light wind sail, which eventually we might add a spinnaker onto it. Anything you want to say about that?
Nope.
Nope. All right, well, that's it. Great boat.
hours or 8 minutes and down.
I didn't know you were strong enough to
It doesn't come down.
Wow, look how close I am. That's so great.
Let the downhaul off, it'll come down. Now you can bring it down. We gotta be good for the Sharon Greens out here taking pictures tonight.
It's just too beautiful. Okay, so we just had a crazy experience, but I wanted to first start off the conversation with this Latitude 38 August 2023 magazine edition. This guy right here is actually the guy that did our survey today and the one that we just went sailing with. So I just thought it was gonna be like sailing, just knocking around San Francisco, Oakland, California area, and leisurely cruise. And it was not, but it was good in a good way. It wasn't a leisurely cruise. It was actually the Richmond Yacht Club's Wednesday night amateur race day. So they had like the blowhorn, the starting line. There was like 50 plus boats out. They had different waves. So we were at the 6:30 p.m. wave. 10 of us on a like 26-foot like racing sailboat. Spinnaker out, main out, we had the jib out, everybody had a job. Some people were around me. Seth and I were helping tack at one point, and I was like grinding on the winch and everything to just have everything trimmed. Really great experience and really fun. We actually came in first place, which is pretty crazy, and we almost beat the person in last place of the next division. Yeah, so we almost came into our, it's pretty crazy. It was neat though. So we head back tomorrow morning. So we're on our way to the hotel. We'll be back in 30 minutes. We're gonna call it a night and we fly out tomorrow. So this was a really great trip, really fun. And honestly, I had other things to do like on our to-do list today for like sightseeing. But today was definitely a really good learning experience, fun, meeting people, and kind of crazy. You just land in San Francisco and now you're with like 10 people on a race boat, like having a good time. So anyways, we're heading back. And we will see you next week. Thanks so much. And make sure you like and subscribe and stick along for our journey because we have a lot coming up with this new boat. All right, see ya. What a day.